Dr. Chee, I think you have a relationship with Speaker's Corner, I think, because I think it's covered in the book somewhere about how Speaker's Corner was actually started because of, would you like to sort of like let us know a little bit?
Yeah, it's just the documentation of some of these stories here. I think they serve a very useful function in that sense that if you were to compare the era before the advent of social media and compared to what it is now, you can then begin to see that difference in terms of civil society, political opposition, engaging the government, and that tension, that to and froing, and how the technology development of technology is really aided in making the progress as we go forward. So that, when I think it was 1999, when I just got up, and I don't know what got into me, but decided to go to Raffles Square and said that I was just going to go there and speak to the public. And so I got this little microphone and speaker, portable speaker, and just placed it on Raffles Place, just announced that I was going to go there. And mind you, this was before Facebook, YouTube, and so on. So I just said I was going to go there and speak, and I was terrified at that time, not so much because my fear of the consequences, but what if nobody showed up? Right? And you'd be standing like a fool and talking to yourself, right? But the minute I put my speakers on, just onlookers were very curious, and they started crowding around. And I started talking, and then before you knew it, the police were descended upon the place. Then before I left, I told the crowd I'll be back next week, same time, same spot. Again, I wasn't sure if people were going to show up, but the second event, a huge crowd was there. And that just got me thinking at that time that Singaporeans were not so passive, and they wanted to participate and so on and so forth in the public process, wanted to hear what was going on. And one thing led to another, of course, then I ended up in court and then eventually in prison. But then, just to take off from what, was it, Alfred, you were saying that there are consequences, and the government has to deal with it. And I remember at that time, Lee Kuan Yew then went to Davos in Switzerland to attend the World Economic Forum, and then he had an interview with, what's his name already, I forget, but then he was a columnist, William Safire. He's passed away since. And then Safire asked Lee Kuan Yew point blank, why don't you allow a venue for freedom of speech? And, I was floored when it was reported. Then he says, yes, why not, maybe. And that's how things got going. And then, of course, there were a few letters going back and forth. I remember in the Straits Times, first of all, they had to do the perfunctory condemnation of me being this mad person and so on and so forth. But then it says, hey, why not this whole idea? And that's how, Speaker's Corner came about. But by the time it was still a human rights joke, because you couldn't gesticulate, you couldn't use microphone or voice enhancement instrument that they called it. And then you got to go register with the police station then nearby. And we just thought, it was just more for show, and some wit said it was more Speaker's Corner than it was Speaker's Corner. So we decided to press on and say that's still not good enough. We should be able to go there and hold protests, because we are citizens of Singapore. Our constitutional rights, our political rights are all enshrined in the Constitution. So we pressed on and held some more, and said we were going to do all these activities and so on and so forth, and again got in a lot of trouble there. There was one incident when the World Bank and IMF had their meeting at Suntec City, and they said we were going to start from Speaker's Corner and walk all the way. Just 5 of us, Again, the police surrounded us and didn't allow us to move, and we had a standoff which lasted for almost like 3 days or something like this. But then in the end again, then to my surprise again, a Goh Chok Tong then came out and said, hey look, we've got to allow these protests. Otherwise, Singaporeans are just going to leave this place and, what are we left with, you see? And of course, I'm paraphrasing him. But then in the end, they did liberalize some of the rules at Speaker's Corner, and then, one thing led to another, and there we are. But what I'm trying to just get at is that we've got to do the work. And if we do the work, things will happen.